Hello Pisces, this is your reading for February 2017. I've already shuffled and cut the cards and laid them out in a spread for you so I can know your current situation, obstacles, conflict, what to do to change, your strengths, any challenges you might be having, and your outcome. And then I pulled out some three other cards, a significator, just to help you reaffirm that this is for you, and then a clarifying card and an advice card. And prior to doing all that, I have a strange little thing I do with my Bible sometimes. I open up randomly and throw a stone and see where it lands. Sometimes it just lands right in the middle in the bind, and that's nothing. But sometimes it actually lands on a page. And at the time, before the reading or before the layout of the cards, I just thought this is not going to resonate with anyone. I'm going to have to do it again after I lay out all the cards. But after seeing the layout, it does resonate. And based on that, this reading for Pisces, February 2017, is a little specific, okay? I'm going to try and make it as broad as possible to apply to many people. This reading is not for everybody. Let's get started. The first card is your current situation. It's what crowns you. It is the Six of Pentacles, and it was right side up. This could be representative of you, and you're doling out money, you're distributing money, being generous. You're giving it to people who are distressed or needy. Okay. It also represents attention. You're giving attention, not necessarily just money. This also talks about the situation. Now is the time. It's an appointed time, either for prosperity or balance. And if you look, there's 6 pentacles. So if you divide it evenly, it can be divided by 2. But what I did notice, which had me a little on edge, is that if this is you, and you're supposed to be balancing fairly, kind of like justice has the balances, you're not blindfolded like justice. Or whoever this is not blindfolded. Okay, so they're not objective. There could be some favoritism. And then we see he's giving out to this man. And if you can see really closely, he looks like he's rather wealthy. He doesn't look ragged, at least not in comparison to the man in the blue. He's got patches, okay, and looks like there's nothing in his side of the scale. But on his side, it looks like there's still more, even after he's already been given some. So it bothers me a little bit that maybe you could be showing favoritism, or you feel as if somebody is showing favoritism to someone else. Okay. If this person in the middle is not you, and perhaps you are the person, maybe these two are representative of you. Like right now, you're feeling like this. Okay, like I'm not getting anything. He's not even looking my way. He's showing favoritism, or lack of it. Okay, he's being biased. But maybe you're going to transition into this person, where you're going to be whole and be gaining, and you're actually being looked at. Okay. That could be because maybe that person in the middle is going to help you manifest your dreams. It could be monetarily, but it could be anything. Okay, that's a good sign. So this could be a good card, could be bad, depending on how it applies to you. And just in case, something that I thought about doesn't really resonate with the entire reading, but there's some property there in the background. So if you're thinking about buying property, you could get this property. But if you see the empty scale and the poor man is right by the house, okay, so you might get the property, but you're not going to have anything after that. You're going to be a little destitute, okay? So it might be better to have money and have people give you gifts and not have that property. And I'm just seeing in here, this card means if you're the person in the middle, don't control people or manipulate people. Be balanced, just like the scales, okay? Be balanced. Make sure there's enough in each. Divide by 2. Okay. And some of this stuff comes up later in another card, but that's all I have for now. Moving on to the conflict or the situation. At first I didn't see how this resonated, and I did some research and took some notes on different cards, and then I saw how the cards all started playing together. So this is your conflict or your obstacle. It looks pretty nice because it's an Ace of Wands and, Ace of Swords. And it's upright, okay? So that's good. And this talks about fate. How fate is a problem or an obstacle. How your destiny is. It's going to be up to the rest of whoever's reading this. Could talk about karma, okay? But since it's a sword, it's talking about your thoughts. There may be some strange coincidences. For a very few of you, there may be love at first sight. But you're going to have fortitude. You're going to have balls, figuratively, if you're a woman or anyone else. Because this can signify an ending. Okay? This reading really got to me a little bit. I'm a Cancer through and through, so I know about water signs. Pisces is just very emotional. I am as well. Sometimes Pisces can be told they're over emotional, okay? And that could be a case. But something's coming to an end and you need to move on, or something has ended and you need to move on. That's why I said this doesn't resonate with everybody. This is probably for a select few Pisces out there. For those who, in a more general sense, you could be hearing from someone. But for the majority, or whoever this is for, maybe it's just one person, I'm not sure. You're going to face a challenge. Okay. Usually means an upcoming challenge, and this is warning you of it. So it may not be in the past just yet. Some of you it could be. But if there is an upcoming challenge, some kind of a hurdle, the cards are saying, here it is. Okay. And I prayed to Jesus, and I asked the Holy Spirit to give Pisces what they needed to know for 2017's February. And this is what's come up. This can talk about a forced triumph, very forceful, something to excess, whether it's love or hatred, maybe even a little obsessiveness. But a test or a challenge is coming. You need to be objective. And funnily enough, I just talked about that in this card, and then I was even in my notes before I even got to this card. So we need to be objective about something. And this talks about setting injustices right. So this is some heavy stuff. You need to be ethical and honest. Seek the truth. Okay. So that could be you. Maybe you're showing favoritism and something not to others. And you need to put that blindfold on, like justice, because you're holding scales, but you're not being objective. This could talk about an offer or a gift, even an encounter for those of you who are looking for love. It could talk about infertility. So there may be a few of you out there who you're really struggling. You want to be pregnant. It could be that you could be lacking love. You're lacking something, but just you're not producing. It could be about money, okay, or you're just not seeing fruitfulness. Like you see other people getting what they want, but you're not. Whether it's pregnancy, money, property, jobs, love. But in here, you have the seed. Okay, you have it. You just don't see it yet. And of course, thinking about fertility and seed, okay, so you have it, you just don't know it yet. You're not able to see it. Which, funnily enough, actually leads into our third card. 1, 2, and 3 all seem to go together, which I really love. Because when I first looked at these, I thought, these aren't really clicking for me. And then when I started taking notes and going through it and just really researching, they went together pretty well. The third card is what you can do to change your obstacle or your conflict. And it's the Two of Swords, and it was upright. This talks about conformity, not being so stuck around the fence. And if you see her, she's blindfolded. Okay, that can have two meanings. Because I've been telling you, put on the blindfold, be objective. You know, you're holding these scales, and doesn't she look like she looks like Justice? She doesn't have the scales, but she has swords. Okay, but she has the blindfold. So it's like here you need the blindfold, and here you needed scales. And it's like each one got one, but not the other. Okay, so it could also represent lack as well. And you see all that water behind her, and there's none in front of her. Look at all of that she is holding back. I mean, to me, this looks like you. Even though there's swords in here, this looks like you. It feels like you. You are holding back a massive amount of emotions. Nothing's getting in and nothing's getting out. You're putting barriers up. If you see, she's crossed her arms over her heart. It could be about love. Even about, well, think about your thoughts with swords. You're really struggling with your emotions and your thoughts. And you're not wanting to see it. Okay, you're trying to blind yourself. Here you're turning a blind eye. And so is he. And then I think there was a phrase for this one called, not just a blind eye, but a deaf ear. One of these was a deaf ear and one of them was blind eye. Okay, so you're deaf and blind. And it seems as if it's of your choosing. Because you have just been through so much. Or you're about to go through so much that you just can't handle it. You're just shutting yourself off. You're creating barriers. And this card is saying, because it's not a good card, it's almost like it's telling you to do the opposite of whatever this card represents. Okay, so if you have barriers, barriers are not a way to peace. And if you think about these two swords, okay, this could be two people. If you've gone through a breakup, a separation, a divorce, and you're fighting, and you're not letting in and out, you've been hurt. Okay? You're not open to new love. You're not even open up to discussions with whoever it is that hurt you. And you can see it's been dark, but then it's getting lighter. So there's some hope, but you're still cloaked in darkness because even though it's getting lighter, you're blindfolded, so you can't see that it's going to get better. You just think it's still dark. The moon is out. The moon makes me think of secrets and hidden aspects, intuition. You're not even trying to hear your intuition. You know, you're hiding things. And I'm a little afraid once you take this barrier down, look at all those emotions that might come rushing out because they've been held back. And I can see you're sitting on this bench. So what you can do to change is choose between two things. Okay, you have a lot of tension. There could be a hidden agenda going on, but be peaceful. Call a truce. Whatever might be, so progress can unfold that way. It could be a temporary truce, just enough to get some progress going on. I don't know what this is about. I really don't. Maybe if you're taking a seat and just kind of waiting things out. Could be about, earlier we talked about fertility. Maybe you're so stressed you can't have a baby. So maybe you need to chill out. I had a similar reading to this about fertility for cancers. Okay, so maybe there's something going on with water signs. I mean, it didn't apply to me as a Cancer, but it could be applying to a lot of water signs out there. But you need to be objective. So if you're having a hard time, maybe putting on the blindfold is good, not to as a barrier or to be blind to something, but just so you don't show favoritism like the situation over here. Okay, so to change your obstacle, be objective, but don't blind yourself. Yeah, that sums it up pretty well. I like that. But you need to accept some truth, resist love, listen to whoever it is that you need to be talking to. You're just struggling to keep your feelings in control, okay? And there's some kind of reconciliation that's needed, whether it's with your emotions, with somebody you've been fighting with. Maybe you need to reconcile yourself to just kind of wait out however you're feeling. Wait it out. I'm not saying pretend you're fine, because that's not what you should do. Just saying acknowledge that you're in this dark time. You don't have to make well, you do need to make some kind of a decision, but mostly like a truce. Okay? I don't want you to be on the fence, because you already are. I'm going to call this truth is what you need. And in order to get the truth, you need to have a truce with yourself or someone else. Moving on to strengths. Yeah, let's get some strengths in here. Something, hopefully this one's positive. I'm going to go back and remember. I pulled up the Devil in reverse. This can talk about your strength is a lack of desire. I think it was here we talked about obsessive love or hatred. So here you're free of that obsession. Here we could have obsessive lovers. Here we have a lack of obsessive lovers. Maybe you guys were obsessive, but your strength is you're not usually like that. Okay, not necessarily. I know Pisces, you are emotional, but I don't think obsessive is really something I would use to describe you. And we're talking about breaking barriers, and here this is talking about freedom. See, these people are bound to each other. Okay, and then they have these horns like a pagan fertility god. Okay, so here they're bound to this fertility. They're bound to each other with love. And then here, there's no bounding. There is no bonding. Okay, so it could be you're not bound to fertility. Okay, that does not define you or own you. You're not bound to a person, and that could be a problem for you if you were married and became a widow or widower. But that can also be your strength. You know, I don't want to say anything that could be hurtful, so I'll move away from that for now. But you're not power hungry, okay? Like this guy could be power hungry if he's showing favoritism. Maybe he's keeping this other person's money for himself. Or if he wants that property, you know. Okay, but here you're not power hungry. This talks about being blind. But it says that your strength. So I'm thinking when you come here, being blind means being objective, not necessarily avoiding your problems. So blind here is having two meanings. So it could be for the same person, or it could be for different groups of Pisces out there. Some of you are blind and you need to break the barriers, and some of you are blind and you need to be objective. Or normally you are objective. Normally you're blind. Okay, and that's your strength. But right now you're not. You need to bring this part of you back. Okay? Break the barriers, be free. This is also saying that, okay, you see, I mean, they're in the devil's cave. It's really dark. Okay, can't see. You're blind. And he has the only light. He has this wand of fire, this torch. This could represent Capricorn, okay? And this cave is just inaccessible. But it's in reverse. So you're going to get out of this dark cave. I don't know if a Capricorn put you here. I don't know what the situation is if you lost a Capricorn. Sorry, this reading is just so heavy. This card represents the only way to get out of this cave is through a crisis. So you know how you have an upcoming hurdle? This is warning you of that. You're trying not to see it, maybe. Maybe you know it's coming, but you're trying not to. Or once it happens, you're trying to just shut yourself off and deny it. You're fighting with whoever it is that you're breaking up with, separating from, divorcing from. You're fighting, maybe you're angry at a loved one if they've passed intentionally. Okay. I'm seeing so many things in here that normally I don't see in these cards. So the only way to break through out of this cave is through a crisis. That's why it's coming. Okay. You're going to use your strength, which is being objective, being free, and being not power hungry, not obsessed, being a rational person. Okay, so even though you're trying to stave off your emotions, you're going to use your rationality to help get you through it. If you're fighting, you're going to be rational. You're going to hold off the emotions, okay, and just try to be a little bit more cerebral, just temporarily, to get through, to have progress. The next card, card number 5, is it's called Other Challenges. Now I take this 2 ways. I see a challenge as a problem, like this obstacle or conflict, but a challenge can also be a dare. Okay, so take with it what you will. This represents work. You could be having problems at work. See with the Pentacles, talk about money. Here maybe somebody's getting a promotion and you're not, so you could be having some trouble with that. And this is the 8 of Pentacles, I apologize, and it's upright. Okay, you see he's working really hard. And look, there's that property in the background I talked about at the very beginning. So if you got that house and you ended up destitute based on what this guy looks like, or just not plentiful, then it's going to cause you to really work. I mean, you're going to have to work to keep that house. He's so busy. I mean, he went from 6 Pentacles all the way to 8, so he's having to make a lot of money. I don't see this as being prosperous just because he's having to work so hard. You could be in the wrong job. And this is as far as like your difficulties are, your challenges. You don't have time for love. Maybe that's why you're fighting. And you're just going to have to temporarily say, hey, I'm going to work a little bit less. I'm going to be free of whatever this is. And we're going to have a temporary wait and chill. I'm too stressed out. I'm at the wrong job. It's causing my relationships to fall by the wayside. I'm so stressed that my body's imbalanced. And so if I'm imbalanced, all my hormones aren't working right and I'm infertile. So before your relationships can grow, this is going to have to change. You can't be busy. This talks about gaining a new skill. Okay, an apprenticeship. So maybe your challenge is to, instead of working so hard, get a skill or become more skilled at your job through education. And only once you get this education can you be happy. I mean, with two swords, what if you're working two jobs and you're just trying to hold it together and you're trying to think that it's going to work and you're blind that it's not going to work? You need to be free. You need to get out of the cave. Working too hard. I mean, being in the cave, I think of working long hours and you leave when it's dark and you come home when it's dark. So for those of you workaholics, you may need to change jobs, get a new skill, and then get a new job. Or hone your craft. Okay, that's the only way you're going to end up being happy with your work. For some of you who are going through something really tough, your challenge may be not throwing yourself into your work and making yourself too busy. Because that's just a distraction. That's not really dealing with what you're going through. And honestly, some of the things that happen, I don't know how people deal with them. But distraction is usually a coping mechanism, and it only lasts so long, and then you burn out. Okay? You could meet somebody through work, and I like that idea, whether it's through a course you're going to take for work, some kind of education that you're going to do. That's your challenge, is to educate yourself on something that's going to help you monetarily and make you happy. So maybe you'll meet somebody of like minds. The final card, which is your outcome or your potential outcome, is the Magician Upright. And Magician Upright is always good to me. It's the number 1 arcana. Okay, so it's the first one. It talks about air and earth because he's pointing to the air, he's pointing to the earth. So he's in charge of heaven and hell. Okay. Thinking about the two like dichotomies, maybe you've been wrestling with heaven and hell. Okay. Come hell or high water, you've been dealing with a lot. And come hell or high water, you're gonna have to deal with it. So he talks about skill. And we were just mentioning how you need a skill. Okay. So he manifests things. We just talked about how you're going to meet somebody. And how somebody right here at the beginning, somebody can help you manifest your dreams. I think I mentioned it once, but just in case you didn't hear that part. Basically, your outcome is you're going to have mental clarity. You're going to be sound. You're going to be confident. You're going to have manifestations. You're going to manifest. You're going to see your manifestations, whether it's with help or on your own. You won't have any bias because you'll see he's holding a wand. He has the cup. He has the pentacle. He has the swords. So he's not manifesting for just one particular sign. There's another wand. Okay, this must be a scepter. He's not biased. He's manifesting for everyone. Okay. So if you were a little biased, you're not going to be at the end. Those changes we talked about making, you're going to do them, and you're going to end up fabulous. So even though this is a really sad reading to me, you're going to be, well, perfect. I really like this. If you see the infinity, okay, you're going to be able to deal with the unseen. That's called manifesting, okay? What you call into being, what is not seen. It's actually a little biblical. Talk about having faith. Okay, so you'll be able to have those things that you need. This also talks about you could be communicating with a lover. He talks about communication. So if you had a truce. You're going to end up communicating with this lover. Okay. This represents infinite possibilities. See the infinity sign? Okay. You're going to regain your intuition. So here, with that moon and then the water, maybe you felt like you lost your intuition. You didn't see that hurdle coming, and you just feel like it threw you for a little bit blind, decided you. Okay. After you do these challenges, get a skill, have a truce, talk with people, you're gonna gain your insight back, your intuition. We talked about how this is your fate, your karma, your destiny. So when this hurdle comes up, don't think it's because of something you did, your karma, okay? Because we talked about the only way to break out of something that you're in, this barrier, is a crisis. That's why this is happening, okay? So don't think you're a bad person. Even if you're just a little biased, that does not make you a bad person. That's not why you're being punished, okay? You're not being punished. I just thought I should clarify that. But this card at the very end, your final outcome, talks about control of destiny. So if this is your destiny, it's going to seem like it's out of your control. You're free. You're usually free, okay, so that's your strength. But here, you're creating barriers, you're binding yourself. Okay, whatever happens, it's going to make you try to close off and bind yourself. But in the end, okay, you're going to have control over your own destiny. You're going to have insight, and you're going to be mentally stimulated. And I really like that came up because it resonates with the last 3 cards I pulled. Okay, so starts out really, really bleak, and then it ends out fabulously, as long as, because this is a potential outcome, as long as you follow this dare and you break barriers, you free yourself. Okay. So when I pray, I ask for a clarification card, a significator, and an advice card. I do the significator first, just so you know that this reading is for you. It's a Queen of Swords. Gender is not, doesn't matter here. The swords, you should talk about stimulating intellect. This person wants stimulating company. They're a little forlorn. She's looking to the future, which is good. That means she has some faith. She's a little optimistic despite what's going on. She has a book, so she wants, wit, intelligence. But this sword, could be sharp thoughts that she's had in the past. The sword's kind of over here. She's resting that arm like it's heavy thoughts, and she's forlorn. She's known sorrow. This person, usually a divorced person, meaning somebody you're separated from a couple or a union. Okay, we talked about if you're fighting or breaking up with someone. Maybe somebody was shown favoritism. You're no longer bound with an obsessive lover. And this talks about obsessive love and hate. I mean, if you've divorced someone and you have an obsessive hate for them, you're going to have a temporary truce and work some things out. So when I see this, I think of a lonely person who's unhappy. Either a widow, widower, someone separated, or someone divorced. You would not be married. This would not be a married person. Going to the clarification card, I saw the 6 of Swords, and I wish I had the Universal Tarot card for this one, the Rider-Waite. I pulled from a separate deck in case I need the same card for clarification that I need that's in the reading already, just to double clarify something for you. So the picture isn't what I like, but this is the picture, if you've seen it before, of the man and the woman in the boat. And their boat is currently in really choppy waters. and then there's this line in the ocean, and then it's all placid water from there. Okay, so you're coming, or you will be coming, out of rough waters into peaceful waters. And think about waters, your water sign. Waters represent emotion. So you're coming out of some really rough emotions, and it's going to be really peaceful and calm. Here you can see behind you a lot of water too, a lot of emotions. This also talks about expediency, taking a journey by or through water. So you need to take a journey through your emotions, or you are, or you have been taking, or you will be taking a journey through your emotions. It might be choppy, but it's going to become peaceful and calm. You're also not confessing to something. There could be a secret love, but you're just not openly proposing or declaring anything, nothing public. And that could be a little bit why you're turning a blind eye and there's a moon and darkness. And then you have this dark cave, an inescapable cave, but you're going to, through a crisis, you're going to escape. But, it could just be that you're not telling people how much of a hard time you're having. So you're going to come out of these rough waters, but maybe it's going to be unbeknownst to anybody else. Okay, that's just a clarifier. Then the advice card, the final card. You pull the Nine of Swords upright. And there's a lot of swords in here. Swords remind me of thoughts. Because we have the Ace of Swords. So we go from 1, then we go to 2 of Swords. Okay, that's within your general reading. And then the Magician has a sword of his own. Okay, because he manifests everything. So you go from 1 to 2, and then back to 1. And then we go from 6, and then 1 sword for the Queen of Swords, and then 9 swords. So that's what? 2, 4, 6 signs all about swords. And there's only like 2 cards about money. Okay, so you're just really lost in your thoughts and emotions, and it's painful. You could have some like double-edged swords. Some things are like a catch-22. And I really like this card. This is supposed to be your advice. And it's not really telling you to do anything. It's really just, it's here solely to comfort you. And that just seems like a big blessing to me. It's telling you that it acknowledges that you have been through a painful breakup, or separation, something that truly just took you for a ride. It blindsided you. You weren't seeing it coming. Okay. It could also mean that it acknowledges that you need to break up with someone. Not for everybody. Okay. And then it tells you that you are your own gift. Like, you're the gift. Sometimes this talks about gifts or unexpected encounters. You could, find somebody through work unexpectedly, but you're really what I think might be catching you unexpectedly, like how, just how wonderful you are, like how you made it through. That's a gift. You're your own gift. So if you're wanting a baby, you're going to be able to manifest it. But your advice for now, is you're your own gift. Children are a gift from the Lord, but for now, you are your own gift. And it says, you may be in a really dark time, evidenced by being in this dark cave with the devil. Okay. But your strength is that you're free within that cave. Okay, you're not really bound. This says every day you're going to grow stronger. You may get knocked down. It's not saying you're not knocked down. It acknowledges that, actually. It says you are, sorry, It's part of life and it's not fun, but it says you're growing stronger every day. You're your own gift. It says you will find a solution. And I wholeheartedly believe that, because in the end, you're the magician, you're manifesting. Okay? So, if you have a solution, the clouds are going to clear. Just like in this Two of Swords, the clouds are clearing. Okay? And there's reason to have faith. There's reason to be optimistic. It's dark. Don't give up. Okay? If you wish to stay and listen to the Bible portion, the verse that I thought was not going to resonate with this reading, and it ended up resonating, at least to me, it seems to go with it. So I'll read it to you. Make sure I hold that on there. Well, I can see where it was. Alright. So it's actually a psalm, Psalm 69, I believe, yeah. And it was verse 14. And this could be something to comfort you. This could be your thoughts, okay? It says, "Deliver me out of the mire, and let me not sink. Let me be delivered from those who hate me, and out of the deep waters." Okay? If you go on to 15, because there is no separation from that, it says, "Let not the flood water overflow me, nor let the deep swallow me up, and let not the pit shut its mouth on me." So this reading just really hit home for me. Not as in it pertains to me. It just, Pisces, you're killing me. It's going to be something really big. But don't give up. You know, you're not going to be swallowed by the deep. Okay? You're actually going to end up really great. Okay? So that's your reading for February 2017. Let me know if it resonated with you. If it didn't, look for your other signs. And if it doesn't, please don't leave hateful comments. Just look for your other signs. All right, peace. Be happy.